What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets checking in with my guy Azim Rakes. How are we feeling, Azim?
I'm doing great actually. Excited for this week. Last week was I think we did 3.5 units for my VIP, and so I'm trying to do similar.
Yeah, we were probably I think plus 1.7 units in VIP last week, and me and Source were on last week. I think we had a couple winners that we gave out. We will deep dive pretty much into week 4. We'll go through each and every game. So if you guys have any questions over any game, let us know. We also will go over some player props. I'll throw about 5 or 8 out there, and we'll see if we like the over or the under. We haven't discussed any of them at all. I'm just gonna go fly through them as well. So let us know how you guys are feeling on this Friday night in the chat. Looks like we got a couple viewers here, so let us know in the chat. Um, so first game, we got the.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I don't know why, but my computer is being crazy
Oh,
right now. All right,
perfect.
all right,
All right,
good
so
again.
Chiefs, Eagles. You got anything in this game, Azim?
Yeah. First of all, if I had to take a spread in this game, intuitively, I would say the Chiefs. I mean, they need to have a bounce back, right? And they did not look pretty last week, but it's still the Chiefs. They still have the same, threat with Tyreek Hill. Um, and I don't see the Eagles being able to cover them. Is it an official play from me? No. But if I were taking a side here, it would definitely be the Chiefs. I'm kind of surprised that this line opened at -8.5, kind of moved down to -7. That's a little concerning because who do the Eagles have that can potentially, be problematic for the
Right.
Chiefs? But if I do like something here, it's probably going to be the over, and I'm seeing at 54 on your
Yep.
site. What
That's
book is
this.
that?
Is, this is DraftKings. I got it.
Okay, I didn't realize DraftKings pulled it down to
Yep.
54. So at 54, I would. I think I'm gonna have to tweet that out.
54. Do you like that for sure? Nice.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
waiting for. Actually, I was waiting for
Yeah.
the 54.
And this is a game that I just threw out my YouTube top plays and top stacks for DFS this week, and this is my top stack of the week game stack with the Chiefs and the Eagles here. I think this could be a shootout. Both defenses are just absolutely horrific this year. The one thing that the Chiefs cannot stop is the run. So I'm hoping the Eagles coach, I can't remember his damn name, but I hope he realized that he only called 3 running plays last week, and and he can divert to a little bit more running for him. I think he forgets he's got Miles Sanders back there, and I saw that. I think his
Right.
over under rushing attempts was like over 12 and a half, and I actually took that myself. I don't. We can check what it is shortly, yeah,
Over?
I took the over for the Miles Sanders one. I think he's gonna. That's the way that you got to beat the Chiefs is to run the football. And I just think Hurts and Sanders can have a pretty big game here, and then the Chiefs also, lighting it up, with the passing attack that they always do with Mahomes to Kelsey, and Hill's been kind of put in check the last couple of weeks. So I expect a big game out of Tyreek. I think a couple big plays for him. I'm gonna check what that is though, real quick.
I'm about to pull up. Has Miles Sanders ever rushed for more than 12 this year so far?
Um, let's see.
He rushed for 2 against
Yeah,
Dallas. Oh yeah, 13 against 49ers and 15 against the
see.
Falcons. Yeah, 12.5 looks
So
good. I
it's
mean,
at
he's being
and it's at minus 135. So I like that. I got it
right.
at plus 100 when it actually first came out. So now it's at minus 135. So people are on that nice little train there. But yeah, so I think if I had to play on the game line, I might take the first half of the Chiefs. I think they got to come out with some just fire. And Mahomes, I don't think is going to lose 3 in a row. I don't think he ever will. But I just think Chiefs -4 first half is probably the angle that I would like this. I'm not going to officially take it, but I think if that's a good angle to attack this game because a lot of people are afraid that the Chiefs haven't covered a spread or won 11-1, I guess, in their last 13.
Just about
So
to read that
yeah, I
out.
mean that is very concerning. And Vegas has become very very rich from the Chiefs recently, and that's probably just the angle that I would play. Or you could essentially tease this game down to maybe a field goal or 6 point teaser or something like that.
Right. I like that 6 point teaser idea because I don't see them losing
Yeah,
to the Eagles. Uh, Eagles aren't really that good, and the Chiefs have to bounce back, and they're capable of doing so. I mean, they haven't really lost anybody from that team. I mean, they're still for the most part, they have most of the same pieces that were important in their Super Bowl run 2 years ago and even
yeah,
last year.
for
So
sure. So the next game we got Titans and the Jets. So big injury news here. We got no Julio and we got no AJ Brown for the Titans. I don't think it's going to matter on the Titans end. I can definitely see them covering -6. It's gone down to 6 already, and I would kind of play the buyback position here with the Titans. Maybe let it go down as far as it can. Maybe wait till Sunday, and see how many people back the Jets, and then buy the lowest number that you can find. But I do think Titans with Derrick Henry, and they got enough pieces around them, and I think Julio and AJ. I think AJ's more hurt than Julio, but Julio is probably sitting just because they are playing the Jets and can get an extra week. How do you feel about this game, Azim?
right, I agree with this entirely. I agree with what you're saying. I would wait till um, until it gets as low as possible. And honestly, -6 isn't even bad. In fact, if it gets to -5.5, I would consider playing it at just a -5.5 because the Titans should be able to use Derrick Henry to win this game. The Jets can't really stop any runs. And even on top of that, like Zach Wilson, he hasn't really shown up too well, and the Jets have just not been able to form a passing or a run game. How many points have the Jets scored this whole year? That is
I know they scored 14 week one. I remember seeing that.
They scored 0 last week. Yeah, 0, 6, and 14. 20 points in this whole
Wow.
season so far. They just can't get offensive
No.
power going. I don't expect them to score, but I do expect, even if it is one touchdown or two touchdowns, for the Titans to score. Uh, Honestly, another look just intuitively might be the under. I know it's already fairly low
Yeah,
at
it
44 and a
went down
half,
for sure.
but again,
Yeah, I like that.
even if you Jets and even say that they can score 14, right, which seemed to be their limits, and they scored it against the Panthers. And even if you equate the Panthers to Titans in terms of defensive prowess and whatnot, if you're able to make those arguments and you expect the Jets to put up 14, do you really expect the Titans to put
Right.
up 30?
Yeah. I know.
Without AJ Brown, so the under is probably a look over here as well.
Yeah, they're going to try to slow this game down, and really grind this victory out. I just looked at the rush yards for Derrick Henry. It's over under 119 and a half, which is absolutely insane.
Hey, I'm good with that. I have him on my
Yeah,
fantasy teams. I
that,
like
that's
I
that is
like that.
incredible. And, a little narrative: Corey Davis is going up against his old team here, so you could see maybe Wilson targeting him a little bit. That could be a DFS narrative for anybody watching. I might have a little bit, but not too much Corey Davis for me this week. Um, Next game, Giants Saints. So first game back in New Orleans for the Saints here. How are we feeling on this one, Azim? I'll let you take the first crack at it here.
Yeah, I'm rooting for my
Here you
Saints
go.
over here. -7.5, not a pretty number. I of course don't like those extra hooks and
It's
whatnot. Oh,
yeah,
you have it at
7
minus
here on
seven.
DK.
See, I'm using Action Network. DK looks like they're beating pretty much
Yeah.
every line, so that's a good thing. Yeah, if you're using DK -7, much better of a number. I would suggest taking it. I don't have anything on it. I don't believe. Yeah, I don't have anything officially
Yep.
on it. But yeah, intuitively speaking, the Saints they look really good. Um, week 1 and week 3. Um, Giants have looked tremendously horrible this
Mhm.
whole time. Saquon isn't Saquon anymore apparently, and that kind of sucks because he was such a great talent. I've been rooting for him for a few years now, and so to just see him come back from his injuries and not be able to perform the way he once used to be able to perform is just kind of upsetting. But the fact of the matter is he's not Saquon anymore. The Giants don't have any real threats on the receiving end. Their defense is very shoddy, and the Saints they have too many pieces. for them to fail here. Yes, it's still Jameis Winston. Yes, he can still potentially throw a few picks here and there, everything of that nature. But the fact of the matter for me is, it's still they just still have too many pieces, and the Saints defense should be able to shut down the Giants offense fairly easily. My look over here is potentially the Saints at -7, and then potentially
Yeah,
the under.
I like the Saints here. I'm gonna tease it like it's gonna be pretty much a Chiefs, Saints, Bucks teaser that I'm gonna do, a 6 point teaser, because I trust them to win the game. I just don't know about the spread, and I would another angle you could take is this first half with them, just because they are opening up in New Orleans, and you know how that crowd goes. You know how that stadium roars. So maybe that plays into a nice quick start for the Saints, -4. So not a great number, but I just think if you think they're going to win by a touchdown in the first half, you definitely can do that. But I'm going to end up teasing this play, as I do think Saquon's slowly coming along. I think he's getting a little bit more healthy week by week, and you can kind of see that by the market share that he's producing with the running back position there. And I just don't trust Daniel Jones. And you got Shepard that's out. You have Slayton that's out. So that's two. One of the biggest keys is Shepard being out, because that was his guy. That's his safety blanket. So you could probably look for a little bit more Evan Ingram this week, which is kind of gross to say. So that's why I think this is got a Kamara game written all over it. A nice big reception game, and maybe Taysom Hill scores again like he did last week. Be a little gadget guy, but I like the Saints here, and it could be. So I know a lot of people are playing Survivor out there. If you're playing Survivor this week, you're probably already on the Bills, but I can still see this one being a quality pivot. I've seen the Titans be another play, but I also like this play at home, first game. I don't see them losing this game. So next game, we got Panthers and the Cowboys. So a nice little, I would say a nice little sneaky shootout, I think, huh?
What do you have for that line? -4.5?
Yeah, 4.5. I'm going to wait and see if this loads for whatever reason. Internet's slow. Oh, there we go. So it is 51.5 over under, and the line here is 4.5. I got it at 4 actually for the Cowboys. So this will actually be, if you're tuning in a little bit late, but this is actually a VIP play that I'm going to give out on the stream. I love the Cowboys here. I think it's the first time that I've seen them be undervalued in a position. So reason behind this, Panthers lost CMC. Who is that cornerback that it is? Horn? Is that his last name? I can't remember. What was the what? Yeah, they lost a cornerback on Thursday Night Football. I can't remember his damn name. I said it on my YouTube channel, my YouTube video. I can't remember. But so they lost two main contributors on both sides of football. Then they have not played one person that's been anything this year. So they played the Jets week 1, the Saints with no coaching staff week 2, and going through a hurricane situation, and then you have the third game, which is against the Texans. So they have not played anybody, and you're going to tell me that they're going to come out here and only be +4, +4.5, dogs to the Cowboys, who have shown that they have kind of resurged to some perennial place as a powerhouse in the NFL again. Give me the Cowboys here.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat as you. Unfortunately, as I told you before the stream started, I've had a very busy week, so I wasn't able to break down the games ahead of time. And really, for me, this number is -4. I need the -4, so I'm not playing it yet. It is an official VIP play. I'm going to play it regardless of where this number ends, but I'm hoping that I'm able to find it at -4 rather than the -4.5 it's at right now. But the Cowboys is something that both of us agree on. I like the situation. You're right about everything. The Panthers, not really a tough schedule. Plus, they're facing injuries, and this is just recency bias with the Panthers. And somehow the Cowboys aren't getting that same respect, in the regards of recency bias. But I mean, if you've looked at how they've played phenomenally well. They have probably the best receiving core in the league, if not the best, definitely a top 3 receiving core. And then you still have Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, right? Like, you have two. I mean, this is a very weaponized team. You can have Pollard do so much. You can have Zeke do so much. You have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper receiving. I mean, it's a very weaponized team. Uh, I don't see the Panthers being able to. I mean, how many, with Pollard, Zeke, CD, and Amari, you can run so many different options, so many different plays, play types. You can have Pollard coming out of the backfield on a bubble. I mean, there's just so much for the Panthers
Right.
to stop, and they haven't faced that yet
Right.
this season. They haven't faced a team that can do so much. Do I think the Panthers could eventually stop them? Or could, later on in the season get accustomed to stopping so many different types of plays? Yeah, but I mean, they haven't done so this season because they haven't played a team who's able to have so many different looks at
Yeah.
offensive plays. And so this is going to be their first real test, and I don't think the Panthers are going to be good for
Yeah.
the challenge.
And to add to that, this is probably my definitive argument here. Look at the quarterbacks that they've played. So everyone talks about this pressure rate that they've had. So between weeks was week 1 and 2, they had a 52% pressure rate. After week 3, it went to 43%. And so everyone's talking about that. And they played Zach Wilson, not mobile. They played Jameis Winston, not mobile at all. And it was a David Mills who ended up playing that Thursday night football. Like they have not played a quarterback to Dak's ability. Dak has shown he is a mobile quarterback still, and he can get out of the pocket.
Super.
And I absolutely love the Cowboys here. It'll probably be a multi-unit play. The more I talk myself into it, but yeah, it's a no-brainer here for the Cowboys.
Typically, I would put multiple units as well. But like I said in the past stream, I'm very disciplined with my trends. This is only going to be a one unit play for me. But
Yeah,
intuitively, I
yeah,
agree with you. It is. It should be a multi-unit play. They're being very undervalued. What kind of is concerning though? It started off at plus or -5, and it's moved down to -4.5. So that's a little concerning because it's like, where did
right,
that come from? But I would put this personally at like seven
yeah.
and a half. This is one of the games that should be at 7.5. For some reason, it's not.
Yeah, and Jerry's world was rocking the first game back, so maybe there's a little bit more hype in the crowd again this year. So
Right.
let's wait and see what we got the next game for. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Cowboys. It'll be one of my top plays of the week for sure. And probably by next stream I'll say I hate the Cowboys so much. So
It's usually
yep.
that's the fun.
Next game we got Lions and the Bears. So this one is this one's a little bit tricky of the NFC North here. I've seen a lot of people saying Lions +3, Lions money line. Where do you stand on this game, Azim?
I would root for the
There we
Lions
go.
here. If I had to choose a side, I'm going with the Lions.
All right. It's just I don't even know where to go with this Bears team because you don't know who's going to be a starting quarterback. He came out today. Nagy came out today and said, "I don't know if it's going to be Dalton. I don't know if it's going to be Fields." It's like I don't know if they're trying to play mind games with these teams now. Maybe just having them prepare for both. So maybe that's a little bit gamesmanship there. But I mean, I guess I'd go with the Lions here. I have no official play in this game just because I do think it's a wild card, and I just don't want to put my money on the Lions just because it's the damn Lions. But they did look competitive last week at home against the Ravens, and they should have ended up winning that game, except for these teams in the fourth quarter with 30 seconds to go forget how to play defense and let teams drive up and down the field. It happened in the Green Bay game, happened in the Ravens game, it happened in multiple other games, and I just sit back and I'm just stunned at they just let these wide receivers run. I don't get it.
Right.
So
For me, it's more or less the same situation as you mentioned. It's the quarterback situation. I don't think the team's set. So with the Bears being favored, I think. Well, they're at home and they're getting 3 points. Really, what Vegas is saying that on a neutral site, this is a pick 'em, and I would agree with that. And in pick 'em, I would pick the Lions simply because of one simple fact: the Bears don't even know what quarterback they're going to start. Now they could be just playing mind games with the media and all these teams and lying, and they could secretly know exactly who they're starting in their practices, exactly how the first team and the second team set, and then they might just be in the media using this to their advantage. But the fact of the matter is that causes so much speculation, so much unwanted media attention that's still not good for the team. And even if that is what they're, and if that's not what they're doing, then if the team doesn't know who they're starting at quarterback, which is literally the captain of
Yeah.
the field, how can I consider them a
Right.
team? You know. So for me, it's the Lions here or nothing. The Bears should not be a look, and I mean it started at +5.5 and moved down to +3. So even Vegas is leaning this way, but I would kind of wait for it to be +3.5
Mhm.
potentially. It looks like it's about to drop down to plus two and
Yeah,
a half.
there's a lot of steam, I think, on the Lions. But one thing that I
Right.
do credit the Bears for is they can get after the quarterback, and Jared Goff can knock it out of the pocket. And if you put any pressure on Jared, he is going to crumble. And he doesn't have a good track record in Chicago. I just know this just because I'm a Rams fan. And every time they go play the Bears, he absolutely looked like a turtle go back into the shell. So he just wasn't very good. I don't know what his career at Soldier Field is off the top of my head. I could probably figure that out, but I'll probably tweet that out here after the stream. Um, Next game we got Browns at Vikings. So a little intriguing matchup here. I favor the Browns. I think it's -2, so it's a good number to get if you're thinking they're going to win. Um, I know Landry's hurt. I think the main thing here is I think if you go pass attack against this Vikings defense, you can
Right.
exploit them. And Baker has the capability to do that. He's got OBJ back, who looked completely healthy. They have multiple tight ends that they can exploit this Vikings D from, and then they got Kareem Hunt and Chubb. I just think this is another undervalued team in Browns that I mean, I like road favorites too. I think that's a good position to follow in the NFL as well. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, let's take the home dog," but I like road favorites when you can get them just for a field goal as well. So how do you feel on this game?
I'm on the same boat as you. The Browns are a much better team than the Vikings. Um, the Vikings just haven't looked good recently, and the Browns. I'm kind of surprised that this line opened up so short. I thought it would be a little bit higher. I think it should move up to -3 by the start of the game, and I know that seems like a whole lot of movement, of full point movement, but I think it should. Um, I don't see the Browns losing. Like you said, they have too many weapons. They can weaponize a lot. And the Vikings again, they just haven't seemed to be themselves. You know, I mean, Thielen isn't Thielen. Justin Jefferson, he's looking all right, but last I heard, he was injured or he was limping, whatever. So, I mean, it raises concerns on that end, and the Browns should just kind of steamroll through
Yeah,
this game.
yeah,
Uh,
I like that as well. Kirk Cousins has played a lot better, but I think this Browns front, if you guys saw it against the Bears last week, they can get after quarterbacks. This defense is stout. I think they got a bad rep just because a couple shit weeks from them, but I like the Browns here. Could easily win by a field goal. It'll probably only be a 1 unit play. It might be the one that I give out on Sunday. So if you guys are not seeing this
right.
stream, I don't think it qualifies for a VIP play, but definitely a free play 1 unit play for me. Next one we got Texans and Bills. I don't know if we have to discuss this further. I know you might be on a position though, so I stay away from these big spreads. Azim welcomes them with open arms. So you explain to me why you're going to take the Bills at I don't know what number you got, but it's 17 right now.
Yeah, Bills -17. I need it to be at 17. I saw it at 17 and a half earlier. DK looks like they're beating every line pretty much. I would take the -17. I would hope for it to be -110 though, so maybe it's just like wait off of it
Yeah.
on a little bit. But these big spreads, you know, I mean, it's just public perception continues to take the other side, the dog side. It's a football game. It's rough. Anybody can get hurt, et cetera, et cetera. No team should be favored by that much. It's all public perception. Big spreads, -10 or more, usually tend to cover. Um, and I think this is going to be no different. The Texans, of course, they still don't look good. They have literally nobody on their offensive end nor their defensive end. And the Bills, this is going to be an easy game for them to kind of like get a little bit more accustomed. And they still have Cole Beasley's looking really well or really
Yep.
good recently. So his usage should be up on the charts this game. -17 would mean 2 touchdowns and a field goal. I think that can happen very easily. Um, one thing I might want to check here is the projected score, or the market projection of this game. So if I plug those numbers in real quick.
As I say, you got over under 47. So I know you explained that to the viewers last time you were on. So how do you calculate? Like, I know you were saying like, okay, it's 47, and if you have multiple numbers that are close to that outcome, you end up liking the over or the under. Just explain that one more time.
Right. So the way the market projections work is, I mean, you just take the line and the total, right? And so in theory, Vegas is trying to accurately predict the game every time, and just in turn make their vig off of these games. And so in their projections, essentially what your market projection means is you're taking the total and you're theorizing that, okay, if the total is, in this case, it's 47, but we're going to go with the number 48. So in theory, if it's 48 and without a spread, that would amount to both teams putting up 24 points apiece, right? That's where the 48 comes from. And then you take a look at the spread and you notice that one team is obviously going to put up more than the other. And so between the spread, I mean, if let's say the spread was minus 20 instead of the minus 17, then what you would do is find a difference. With 24, that there's 20 points in between the two numbers, but it still adds up to 48. So the way to do that is you just take the spread divided by 2. And in the case of a 20-point spread, you would get 10 points. And then you move the 24 plus 10 and minus 10. So the real score that is being projected is 34-14. And that's where your market projection comes from. And so that adds up to 48, and the spread is 20. Both are satisfied. So in this case, doing the same thing, plugging in 47 and 17, we get that the market projection, should be 32 for the Bills and then 15 for the Texans. I mean, 15 is just such an obscure number. 14 is the number that's in that area, right, in that vicinity. And then 32 is one of those numbers where 31 is really close and 34 is very close. And those are pretty constant hits. The concern with 31 and 14 is that it will push. But with 34 and 14, it's a winner. So just given the two numbers that could potentially be land on, essentially, on more than not, I would assume that the minus 17 should be a play. But even going further, do you think that the Bills can put up more than 31 or 34 points on the Texans? And I personally think that they can. And I mean, also, can you believe that the Texans won't put up 14 points at all? Yeah, I believe that they might not. So for that purpose, I think the Bills minus 17 should be an easy play here.
I like that. See, little bit of math session, but yeah, I mean, it makes complete sense. So I'm 100% on board with that. So that's how the mastermind works when you're taking those big spreads. So I like the thoughtfulness behind that. So, but I'm completely off of that game. I'm the public guy that says it's 17 points. It is too much. Azim attacks those. So I like that. Next game is the Colts-Dolphins. So I actually took this game early on in the week at the Colts money line, which was plus 110. And it has gone to plus 120 because there's been so many damn injuries to this offensive line for the Colts that has me a little bit worried, but I still think I'm gonna roll with this because ultimately it comes down to, do the Colts start 0-4? No shot. This league is all about parity, and Colts were supposed to compete with the Titans in that division, and I just don't see them starting 0-4. And if they do, they got the Ravens next week, and they'll be 0-5. I'm looking at this Colts team, and they are too talented to start the year off 0-4. They've had a very, very rough schedule. They have had the Seahawks, Rams, and then they had the damn, who the hell did they play last week? I just blanked on it. Who did the Colts play last week? Oh man,
the Titans.
Yeah, Titans. There you go. Sorry. So it was a divisional matchup there. So they've started the year off incredibly tough. I think it was the toughest schedule in the NFL. And then they have now the Dolphins without Tua. Brissett, gets to play against his former team. I can see some narrative behind that, but give me the Colts still. I mean, if you want to take plus 120, you definitely can, or you can just take plus 2.5.
I agree with you. First of all, the plus 2.5, not a particularly a pretty
Exactly.
number. I mean, in this position, I would take the money line if I took anything. I'm not taking anything on this game, but I would take the money line in this situation. Um, I agree with you. They can't start 0 and 4. Of course, past outcomes uh, have no play on current or present instances, and that's something that's always said about sports betting. Uh, but the fact of the matter is, the Colts have had a rough schedule. They've they've been deterred, but the fact is they've played more tough teams. They've adapted a little
Yep.
bit better, and the Dolphins aren't quite that tough. I think, I mean, I'm agreeing with you entirely on this. The Colts have too many weapons. Yes, John Taylor's a little hurt too, but I mean, you still have so many weapons behind you, and the Dolphins can't really come out with much. And they're literally starting Jacoby Brissett, right? Like, let's just discuss that. And the Colts, again, had Jacoby Brissett. They know how he plays. They might be able to adapt to him a little bit better, be able to provide him with defensive schemes that they know that Jacoby won't be able to beat, or whatever the case may be. Um, I
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
Colts here.
and just to look back at the Dolphins' schedule, so they played in New England. They beat New England by 1 point. If you remember that game, Damian Harris was going to score a touchdown, and he fumbled the football, or the Patriots win that game. Then they go week 2, they get routed by the Bills, 34-0, and then they get. I mean, I wouldn't say they get lucky against the Raiders, but Jesus Christ, what are they? What were the Raiders doing in that game? I remember DMing you and just like pissed off at at the world because I had 3.5. They're up by 8, and they let them storm down the field. Like I was thoroughly stunned. So, but they ultimately end up losing that game. So what I'm getting at is they should be 0-3, basically. So this should be a battle of two 0-3 teams, and I guess that's kind of what the spread shows. I just still think this should be more of a pick 'em and more of plus 100. And I got plus 110. That's how I thought. I thought it was going to definitely go in the Colts' favor. Obviously, injuries happened throughout the week that I think are going to sway this against me here. But I'm going to go against the grain, and I still love the Colts here.
Oh, maybe double down, because I do like the Colts intuitively as well. Unfortunately, nothing on the trend side, so it won't be an official play for me. But I do like the
Yeah,
Colts as well.
I was hoping those trends would go with me, but oh well. Then we got the football team and the Falcons. So that wraps up the 12 o'clock games here. Football team and the Falcons. If you watched my DFS video, if you watched that after you get off the stream here, I like this game to be a shootout. And it went from 47 this morning to now it's 47.5. So I think some love is getting on the over here. I think both these teams are pretty talented on the offensive end. Only thing I'm worried about is if Matt Ryan continues to kind of Matt Ryan himself and turn them all over.
Yeah.
But you can stack Ridley and Zacchaeus, those two receivers. You got Kyle Pitts, and you got Cordell Patterson and Mike Davis. It's incredible that I'm actually saying those two running back names, but I am. You got Davis and you got Patterson that can definitely get you some production here. And then on the football team side, you have Heineke, who has been very, very good. If you guys haven't been watching any football teams outcome, he's been fairly decent. He can extend plays with his legs, and I think he's gotten over like 22 and 24 fantasy points on DraftKings for the last 2 weeks since he started. And then you got McLaurin, you got Samuel coming back, you have that Diami Brown, and then you have Logan Thomas. And then you have Gibson, who's nursing a shin injury, so you got McKissick probably more in play there. But I like the over here. I'm probably going to take the over.
Yeah, I mean, the over is really nice. It's sitting at 47.5. Pretty much a pick 'em. I mean, just based off of these simple numbers, you would expect the game to be like 24-21, 24-24, somewhere around that area. I think the play on this game will spread-wise will be the dog, whatever team the dog is, that's going to be the play most likely, just simply because of the fact that both of these teams are capable of winning. Um, and so to get the extra points with whatever team, that's added value. But the fact of the matter is, I like the over as well. Like you said, they have too many pieces to not be able to function. Even if Matt Ryan's himself, I think Washington can come in and put enough points up on the board to be able to potentially hit a over. I have nothing
Yep.
official on it, but I mean, I agree with you. And this 47.5 number is
Yeah.
really nice because 48 is a very common total hit. So, I mean, you can get 27-21, you can get 24-24. Um, a lot of common hits on 48. So 48 is one of those
I
key
like that.
numbers. Uh,
Let me.
so yeah,
You go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. I mean, I was just finishing it off saying that 47.5 would imply the over
Yeah, and
here.
I was on the Giants Falcons over last week, which was 47.5, and I actually got it at 47, and I was very, very confident in that. I was actually gave that out as a sneaky stack as well, and Matt Ryan was just trash in that game. I think I'm gonna look back at his stats real quick, but he was 27 for 36 for 243. I know he had 2 touchdowns, but they just weren't like explosive plays. That's what you need when you take the over. You need explosive plays. So,
Right.
and it maybe just ticked into the Giants. Maybe it wasn't the smartest play to do, I'm bullish on this Falcons team when it comes to their offense. I think that just needs to click. I like this against this football team's defense that I probably would never have said before the season, and they can't get off the field. They really can't get off the field, and so that's probably going to be the battle here is on third down because the Falcons suck on third down. That's why they kick so many field goals, and the football team lets up a lot of third down conversions. So if the Falcons can definitely get that third down conversion, I think they can ultimately win the game and score a lot of points. But this is the sneaky stack, the sleeper stack that's part of my DFS video. So go tune in.
Uh, if they are the dog, I would be taking the Falcons
Like
as
it.
well. Whichever team the dog is going to be the play for me.
All right. So then we got our afternoon games. We got 4 3 o'clock games. We'll start out with the Cardinals and the Rams. So probably the marquee matchup here. I don't know if it's on. I don't think it's on TV, like national TV, but should be. This is going to be a great.
It's
Is
on
it on
Fox.
Fox? Okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
Or it's at least that's what it's showing on
All right,
Action
good.
Network. No, it might not be because it's also showing Seattle 49ers.
I'm pretty sure that's the game that might be on, like national. You could obviously watch this game with Red Zone, but no,
Right.
this game here, I'm not going to take a particular spread, but I absolutely love the over here. If you know anything about my way of betting football this year, is to take Cardinals overs. They play at such a fast tempo, and I know Kyler Murray has like a kryptonite with the Rams. I think he figures it out this time. And Matthew Stafford has just been an absolute beast, and Cooper Kupp has been out of this world. I don't believe he can, keep that up. But you also have Robert Woods there. You got Tyler Higbee, and you got Ben Jefferson. Then you also have Deshaun Jackson there now, which I think a lot of people forgot until last week, and the big bomb play. So both these two teams can score, and they can score very, very quickly. I like the over 54 here.
No, I'm entirely on board with you. Nothing on the trend side intuitively. I love the over here. As far as the spread goes, I'm just going to enjoy the
Yep.
game. This is going to be, I'm surprised it's not being televised. I guess 49ers Seahawks is a little bit more like, a little bit more fans of 49er fans throughout the nation than there are Rams or Cardinals fans. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really fun game to watch. I do actually expect the Cardinals to be able to pull one just out of nowhere, but I expect everybody to be scoring quite a bit. This is, I think, is going to go over by a mile. Hopefully, I'm right because I do have Cooper Kupp, and I would love for him to get like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, see, I got Robert Woods, so I'm just waiting. You guys can have your little Cooper Kupp stuff. I'll sit back and weeks when it matters. The playoffs. We'll have Robert Woods go.
Yeah. All right, we'll find out. We'll find out.
But yeah, no, I like the over here. If you want to, I think it's came down actually. I think it went from like 55 to 54 or 54 and a half to 54. So I mean, you could wait a little bit if you want to see if you can get a better number, but I like this. I like this over for sure.
54 is a key number, so I would wait for 53.5 in my opinion. But if you can't find it, then 54 is a key number. You want to get that push. You don't want to let it get to 54.5,
Yep.
obviously. So take it at
And
54.
then
Are you in the Cappers fantasy football?
no, I know you guys asked me. I did not get in that. Are you in that? Did you get in that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I kind of did hindsight, but I'm already. I like to try to just limit my fantasy because I got 2 of them and I do all this DFS stuff and it's like, man, I can't put it all together is tough. So otherwise you have to start rooting for everybody.
Yeah.
So then another NFC West matchup at 3 o'clock. We got the Seahawks at the 49ers. Going to be a phenomenal game as well. Love this division. Best division in football, I think, in my opinion. I am on the dog here. I like the Seahawks a lot. If you looked at this 49ers team on Sunday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers picked them to pieces. They have young cornerbacks, and for whatever reason, they keep playing man coverage, and they just will not stop. And if you're going to play man coverage against Metcalf, against Tyler Lockett, it's not going to work. And I think the Seahawks can make some big plays here. Over-under being at 52 surprised me because I don't think the 49ers, I just don't think that they can move the ball that efficiently with Jimmy G at the realm. And Kittle is hurt, so I don't know how effective Kittle will be. I don't know how effective Elijah Mitchell will be. I don't even know if those 2 are going to play. So you could look to Trey Sermon if you got him in any of your leagues. But give me all the Seahawks this week.
Yeah, I'm on the same side as you. Officially a play Seahawks +3. I want to find this at +3.5 actually, so I haven't placed it yet. But obviously it's very close to moving down +2.5. And right before that happens, I'm gonna be buying the +3 if I can't find the 3.5 by then, because again 3 is a key number. But honestly, you could probably get away with playing the money line here as well. I don't see the 49ers winning this playing man coverage against Metcalf and Lockett. Lockett is going to burn you. Metcalf is just going to overpower you. I just don't see the 49ers being able to keep up with Russell Wilson either. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, picked them apart. I think Russell Wilson has about right there the IQ to be able to do the same thing. So, I mean, this is, Seahawks and Cowboys for me, man. They're both so undervalued this week. It's just surprising to see. But I'm going to debate this a little bit. So actually not an official play on the Seahawks yet, but I will be taking the Seahawks in some form, whether it's the +3, the +3.5, or the money line. But I would look at all 3 of those. If you want to go a little bit bigger and you want to take the money line, go ahead. You want to try to just take a spread, then look for the +3 or the +3.5. But in some regard, I'm going to be taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, and I think this helps that you're buying this line's +3. They've lost the last 2 weeks. They lost that big lead against the Titans, and then they were favored by a couple against the Vikings without Dalvin Cook, and Madison ran down their throat. So that's the only kryptonite against the Seahawks, is that you can rush all over them, which is another reason why maybe the under here is a good play, because if you are the 49ers, you're going to want to slow this game down completely. So maybe the under is a good play here. I think I might sway myself that way too, because
I don't think the totals will play here.
You don't?
Because for what you mentioned and the same thing that I mentioned with Metcalf and Lockett, the over's kind of just like they're going to try to slow it down, but what if the Seahawks just pick it up? And you're not able to play the man coverage. The over, in my opinion, is if you play the over or the under, it's either going to hit by a mile or lose.
Right, exactly.
Like,
because
this 52 isn't 52 because it needs to be 52. It's 52 because it's either going to go to be a 60-point game or it's going to be like a 40-point game.
That's a good call there. But yeah, I guess it just depends on which game plan works, which one they can execute. So, I mean, 49ers need to slow this game down. Seahawks are going to probably speed it up with their pass game. I think you're getting a better number here because you got the Seahawks at 1 and 2, and I can see this both teams being 2-2. So I sprinkle the money line. I like that. Or a couple more games, and then if you guys do have any questions, Put them in the chat. Let us know. We are just going through all of these, give you guys pretty good analysis, I think.
Yeah, I think we are too. Today, this is definitely one of the better shows I've been on for
Yeah,
sure.
and then we got.
There's so much to talk about this week
Oh
too,
yeah,
though.
so much. This is a.
We've seen 3 weeks of
Yep.
players, data, coaches, teams.
I,
We have quite a bit of
I
information
would
now.
say week 4 through probably 7. This is like where everyone makes their season, and you can
Yeah.
kind of you use the first 3 to figure out who the hell is actually good and who has just been overperforming, and I think I like that for sure.
Right.
The next one we got is the Steelers at Green Bay, and if you have followed,
Did we do Cardinals Rams?
yeah.
Oh yeah, we did.
So did
Sorry, I'm misreading the time.
I was gonna say, did you
My bad.
black out during that one? But yeah, no, Steelers at Green Bay. Kind of a tricky scenario here because you would want to buy the points here with the Steelers just because of their defense and all of their firepower. I put that in quotes on offense. They have everything that you absolutely need, but it just has not gelled this year just yet. You got, I think Claypool is actually questionable. Juju and Deontay are for sure playing. We'll see how effective they are. And then you have Najee Harris being the bell cow for them. But who has held them back this entire year is Big Ben. So we can see if he's a vet. He's been in the league for so damn long, and you know what he's capable of. Can he produce that? I don't know. And this Packers team just lost MVS, so they lost their deep threat in this offense. We'll see who kind of picks up the pace there. Maybe it's probably going to be Lazard, and then you're probably going to see a lot more Randall Cobb. But I'm kind of leaning the Steelers here. Don't know why. I'm probably not going to take a play in this game, but if I did, I'd probably be on the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm not taking a play in this game, but I'm entirely on the opposite side of you. Big Ben just looks tremendously horrible. He's a skeleton of who you used to be back in the day. He's making horrible passes. The offense can't get going. Najee Harris can only do so much. The Steelers' defense is really good, and so you might want to consider laying the points with the Steelers just simply because of their defense. However, they can't get off the field. And Aaron Rodgers will just make them fatigued. I don't expect them to have like a first half like Packers first half spread, probably not a good spread because I expect the Steelers to keep it close in the first half.
Yeah.
But I think Rodgers and Packers are just going to play very aggressively, very hard in that first half and tire out that defense just to come up in the third and fourth quarter and put multiple touchdowns up on the board. I just don't see the Steelers performing again. And Big Ben has just entirely regressed. For me, this is an entirely Packers play. A lot of books even have -6.5 at -115, so it's seeming to move towards -7, and it opened at 6. So if you're gonna bet this game because you're gonna watch it, or if you're a Packers fan, or if you want to bet the Packers, I would take it right now. But I wouldn't let it get to 7 because then 7 is a push or a loss. A lot of things that can go there. But I think the Packers are just gonna win this entirely. So, and I think you didn't say this was gonna be on your teaser.
No,
right?
this was not. No.
This would be a great candidate for a teaser too. Maybe Saints, or maybe instead of the Saints, maybe go Packers, Buccaneers, Chiefs for anybody listening. Or maybe all 4. Go Packers, Saints.
Go all 4. Get a little more plus money there. I just, I don't know. I just maybe playing the narrative role here with Tomlin. I've seen Tomlin motivate this team so well after a piss poor performance against the Bengals. I could just see them coming out and just proving everybody wrong. Maybe winning this game outright, kind of like what they did to Buffalo. Maybe they took the Raiders. Maybe they took the Bengals for granted here, and then now they get right against the Packers. That's just narrative speaking. No idea if that's going to be the case here. That's why I think I'm off this game completely.
Yeah, actually what you're saying makes sense too. And Tomlin is one of those coaches that I've always respected. I think he could get everybody in line. My concern still will remain Big Ben.
Rightfully
of course,
so.
some degree, you want to believe that the Bengals, they weren't prepared for the Bengals. But again, it's the Bengals, and you're supposed to be Big Ben. You shouldn't need much preparation, yet you look like a rookie playing his debut game. Like, I mean, Big Ben has just entirely regressed. So I still have that conflict. But I would agree with you. If you're not teasing this in some regard, I would probably just stay away
Right.
from it. Even the 6.5 is only if you have to bet this game, or if you want to bet this because you're gonna watch it or whatever the case may be, then take it. But it's not one of those games that you should be betting, because you're right. Tomlin could motivate the
Hmm.
team. Big Ben could look, you know, like who you used to be and perform really well. Packers again could fumble the bag. I mean, they fumbled the bag in against the Saints week 1. They could do the same thing here. A lot of
Yeah,
variables.
and I don't know this Packers team just. I feel like you can if you just stop three guys, you win. All you got to do is stop Rodgers,
Right.
Adams, and Jones. And if you stop one of them, then you then
Right.
you then you become one dimensional. We'll see. Uh,
Right.
so probably the closest game of the week here is Ravens Broncos. You got any plays in this game?
Yeah. I mean, oh, do I have anything? Do I? I do not. Uh, but this is already moving down to minus point 0.5 in a lot of places. It's probably going to get to a
Yep.
pick 'em. It's going to be a very interesting game. I think the Broncos are being given a lot of recency bias, and people are forgetting that Ravens still have a guy named Lamar
Yep.
Jackson. Uh, and I know a lot of people don't like Lamar Jackson. They don't think he's a good quarterback, but he's going to run the ball, and who on the Broncos is going to
Yep.
stop him? Uh, they also have other pieces, and in my opinion, I mean, Mark Andrews, Sammy Watkins. Who am I forgetting? Who's their wide
Marquise
receiver?
Brown, Hollywood.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Hollywood Brown.
That Duvernay kid, he's been pretty good. But no, maybe here it just comes back to that Broncos defense. If they can get this Ravens offense off the field, I think they can easily win this game. Teddy Bridgewater.
I think the defense is overrated.
You think their defense is overrated? You do? Huh.
Yeah, I think the Broncos are overrated
Who have they
defensively.
played this year? Let me see. Let me see.
They have played the Jets, the Jaguars, and the
So
Giants.
yeah, this could be another Panthers candidate right here. How we said they didn't play anybody, and now they're 3-0. You could get some. Yeah, I could see that. Shit. Now thinking about it, but probably ultimately for me, I'm off this game. I think it's too close to call. But if you do have a stand that you guys think that the Ravens end up winning, that's definitely the side here.
My thing with the Ravens is that they kept the Lions game so close, and I think that's going to fire up the locker room. In my opinion, I think they're going to go into the locker room. They do have veterans in there. They do have leadership capabilities. I think they're going to look at the Lions game and be kind of ashamed of themselves and come out explosive a little bit, more so than in the past. And again, the Broncos have played the Jets, the Jaguars, and who else? Panthers, something.
Who are you
Um,
talking about? Broncos?
yeah, Titans. I
I think.
think they played.
Who was it?
Oh, Lions.
No,
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, Jets, Giants, and
Jet
Jaguars. I mean,
Giants.
those are not good teams. Their defense has been looking good, way more than it should be. Um, the concern is it did stop open at -3, right? Ravens -3, and it's moved down to minus point 0.5 in a lot of places. So that is a true concern of mine.
Do you think? I think that
Yeah,
happened. I think that happened because of Lamar Jackson being hurt. I think everyone was afraid that he wasn't going to play. I think he's for sure going to play. But
oh, is he
yeah,
questionable?
he had like back spasms flare up in the middle of the week and missed two practices in a row. But he
Wow,
practiced.
I did
But
not
he
know that.
practiced today. And they pretty much said he looked just like Lamar Jackson should. And I think that's the reason for that drastic move. Because obviously, if Lamar doesn't play, it's a no-brainer bet for the Broncos. But he's going to play.
And if he does, then this should be a easy Ravens win, in my opinion. So, take the Ravens, I
There you
would
go.
say.
So then we got Brady's return to Foxborough for Sunday Night Football. I right now currently do not have anything. I kind of want to just sit back and watch this game as a fan, just because I just want
Right.
to don't want to worry about who scores a touchdown. Don't want to worry about a spread. I just want to see how the fans react to Tom. How Bill contemplates going against Tom. I just kind of want to see it as a fan's perspective. But maybe by the time Sunday rolls around and I have a few units that I've won, that I maybe throw maybe one or two on the Bucks.
I'm gonna have so much fun watching this game. I think everybody will. Um, I'm not even gonna lie. Give me the Buccaneers here. Statement gate from Tom. It's gonna be a little anniversary
Yep.
for him. He knows how to play in New England. It's not gonna be a problem. A lot of times in playing in New England, in Foxborough, is really the problem. It's a stadium, but he's played there for pretty much his whole
Yep.
career. He's gonna be just fine, and they're gonna look really good in my opinion. The Patriots aren't much. I think this line is only +7 because, in all reality, if I told you Super Bowl champs playing a 1-2 team that's only 1-2 because they've played
But
who have
the
they played?
Dolphins,
Saints, Jets.
Dolphins, Saints, and Jacksonville. Yep.
So they're only 1-2 because they beat the Jets. Really, they should be 0-3. You can argue that they should have beat Miami, but really, they fumbled. They lost the game on
Right.
their own. The Jets can never win a game, so they should be an 0-3 team. If I told you the previous Super Bowl champs, returning all starters playing an 0-3 team, you would say the line's -15, right? So,
A lot of
I mean, I think this is just 7 because of the media attention
lot of
around it.
narrative.
I think Vegas thinks that if they move it anyway, like whether it's +10 or -3, it's gonna go the other way. So I'm gonna take the Buccaneers at -7. I think this is gonna be a blowout game. I think Tom Brady is gonna put on a show for all of ex Tom Brady
Yeah,
fans.
until Vegas rigs it, so it's a nice cover for them because they have so much money on the Bucks. But
Right.
no,
I wonder what is the bet money percentage? I can look that up right
I
now,
bet you
actually.
it's 100% Bucks.
Oh, so 87% of bets on the
Holy shit!
Buccaneers, 85% of the money, 13% on the Patriots, 15% money
Holy
on the
shit!
Patriots. So maybe it is the
Yeah,
Patriots.
holy cow! You had to know that was the case. Had to. But no, I'd said earlier in the show that I was teasing this game, so I am on the Bucks, but I'm teasing them down with the Saints and with the Chiefs. So we'll see if that hits. But that's the way I'm going to probably play that. But I am going to sit back and watch that as a true fan. It's just a true fan of the
Right.
game of football. It's just a great moment for the game right there. Then finally
Right.
on Monday night, we got the Raiders and the Chargers. I actually really like the Chargers in this spot. I think the Raiders have been a little bit kind of recency biased here, but I do like the Chargers at -3.5. I think it started at 3. I probably should have taken it at 3, but I ended up waiting. But give me the Chargers in this matchup. I really haven't truly looked at this because it is on Monday and I focus on those Sunday games first. But I do like, just at first glance, like the Chargers here.
If you like the Chargers, I would wait off on it because it's probably going to go down to
Good.
-2.5. But yeah, no, I don't really like either one of the teams. I don't know if the Raiders are frauds or
Yeah,
not
exactly.
yet.
Yep.
Chargers look good. I'm gonna bet on the fact that the Raiders aren't frauds, or even if that they are, they're not like severely different than from what we've seen. And I'm gonna bet if I bet this game, I'm betting the over.
Over. Nice.
Simply because I think the Chargers can perform, score, and if the Raiders are not in fact frauds, then they will also score. I think the over hits. And if the Raiders just happen to be frauds, then the Chargers, I will pray, can put enough points up.
There we go. Yeah, no, definitely two teams that can put up points very quickly. The Chargers defense has shown that it could stop some people, but they look pretty damn good against the Chiefs. I don't know what the hell. Maybe it's because I played them so many times, but they stopped them. They made Mahomes look pretty bad. So good for them. But yeah, ultimately nothing there. So let's just run through like some 5 different props, and then we'll get up on out of here. I'm just gonna look at one of each.
No, would you rather today?
Yeah, I said screw it. Let's go some props instead. But
This is the move.
what do we got? I'm gonna go to Baker.
Do any of your followers actually have prop questions or fantasy questions or anything
Yeah,
like that?
if they no questions so far. I'm trying to figure out why not, but that's all good. We'll get some engagement here. But no, Baker. I think this is a good line that I saw. Baker over 251.5. The Vikings have given up over 300 yards passing for 3 straight games. So I don't know if maybe it's a good play here, but what do you think? You like that over or under here for Baker?
Considering how likely it is that the Browns just simply keep it on the ground against the Vikings. Um, a lot of things to consider in that regard: weather conditions, and also, I mean, how many yards has the Vikings given up onto the rush, right? If they're giving up a lot of rushing yards this season, I think um, the Browns are just going to use Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb and just attack the ground, and that's going to hurt Baker Mayfield's ability to put up those yards. But like you said, the Vikings have put up quite a bit of points, so or I mean, have allowed 300 yards plus 3 games in a row. So maybe the Browns administration is thinking to just keep it in the air.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we'll see. I like the over
Um,
there.
you said Landry was out,
Landry's
right?
out for sure, but OBJ's in.
Stay away
Stay
from
away
it
from you. You say under.
because the Vikings is giving me any good vibes, anyways, for the run. So it's like I think Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt will just continue to
Yeah.
run.
Fair enough. Um, here I'm gonna go to your to Dak right here. So over under 305 and a half passing plus rush yards. 305 and a half.
Oh,
Over. I'm in the same boat there. I like that a lot.
that's not even a question. I mean, I think the game's going to go over. I think the ball's going to be in the air a lot. He's very elusive, as you said, and the Panthers have, you know, have a decent rush, pass rush. He's going to be running out forward. Um, he's going to gain some additional yards. Maybe he's going to get like 20 yards just from running the
Yep.
ball forward, maybe 30. But then you only ask him to get 260, 270. I mean, yeah, give me the
I
over
agree.
on that.
And this is I guess a stunning one to me. But Ezekiel Elliott over 58 and a half rush yards. 58 and a half. I think that's incredibly low, right?
Yeah,
I just don't. I mean, it's minus 120 to go over, but man, why is it not like in the 70s? Is it because Pollard?
maybe.
Whew, that's pretty damn low. That's pretty dang low.
I mean, they are splitting the reps up, and then you still have CD and Amari, and they're getting better and better, and they're getting more accustomed to Dak, especially CD Lamb. Maybe they're going to go with the full pass attack. Maybe that's what Vegas is projecting, expecting to happen, is just a full pass attack, which makes the over that we gave out
Yeah.
earlier, or lean on the over earlier, look so much
Yeah.
better.
And for whatever reason, DraftKings just stopped on me. I don't know if I can go to a different page. Uh-oh. I don't want that. There we go. I think that slipped off. I don't want that. So receptions. So receptions for some players here. We got. I'm gonna actually just go right off the top here. So CEH over 2.5 receptions. Over under.
They haven't really been using him, and I think that might change this week. Um, I would go over here. I would go
Plus
over.
money. Plus 120.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I would go over. I can see it happening. I can see him getting two for sure. The question, of course, remains on that third. Can he get a third? Um, I don't know. It's a little difficult, but I would go over. I don't see the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles often leave up their running backs just in the flats and coming out on bubbles
Yep.
and stuff. And I can see Patrick Mahomes getting down there. Wow, getting down there. But my concern, I guess, would also remain with the secondary for the Eagles and playing Kelsey and playing uh, Tyreek Hill. If they're not able to play them, then Mahomes is just going to keep the ball down the field, and CH is not going to get his
Right.
opportunities, in my
Yep.
opinion. So, but I mean, I would take the over, but I would just
Yeah.
stay away.
So let's go to. I'll do one more. We got so go to the Bears, and A-Rob has been very, very lackadaisical this year. Has not produced whatsoever. We got his over/under at 4.5 receptions.
Yeah, I would go.
Unders minus 150.
And that's why I don't like. I would go under, but I see that it's minus 150, and I don't like it for that
Man,
purpose. That's just too much juice.
I like the over here. I think he's gonna have a bounce back week. I think it's a good plus.
Yeah, if I had to take one, it'd be the over just because of the plus money. Um, that under -1. I would take the under. I would think it goes under, but for the value that it is, I would rather bet
Yeah,
the over.
and then just staying in the same game, just for some people, for DFS, DeAndre Swift's going to get a bunch of run. They've already stated that he's going to have a lot more run, like over 4.5 receptions. He's been killing this year in the pass game, so like him a lot. Any final thoughts on this slate, Azim? I know we covered a buttload. Any parting words you got?
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a really fun week of football. I mean, there's so many high-profile games, so many good games to watch. I mean, the really only crap game that's on the card is the Titans Jets because that's always crappy. The Jets are always crappy. And the Texans and Bills because I mean that's that. But every other game that you can like look at is really going to be really fun
Yep.
to watch. There's going to be a lot to learn from this
Yes.
week because as we discussed, um, the Giants or I mean the Panthers, Giants. Also, we discussed who was it? The Broncos. They've all played teams that haven't meant
Yep.
anything, and now they're playing teams that are actually powerful, actually good teams. So we're going to be able to see a lot and see a lot of how they handle adversity and stuff, and we're really going to be able to figure out how they're going to be. We're really going to be able to project the end of season results for each team after this
Yep.
week. I think so. It's going to be a really
Who are
fun week.
frauds and who are not? That's for damn sure. That's what week 4 will definitely be. So appreciate you joining the show, Azim. I know we'll probably do this every other Friday. I think we're going to try to. I mean, if Source can't make it, obviously we're going to try to do a little alternating week here. But if obviously Source can't make it, definitely have you back on. Love doing this. We'll get a bunch more engagement next time. I think we just need to like pay people to come on here and just put some comments in here or something. No, I mean, once I figure out we're literally giving you guys free money just by doing all we're doing, free analysis on these streams. I think people will flock. So appreciate you coming on. But we're gonna sign up on here, and we'll see you guys. I'll be live streaming on Sunday morning on the dot with more official free picks. But yeah, we'll see. We'll get Azim back on. Hopefully, maybe next Friday, but definitely the following week. So that'll be week 6. So we'll see how that goes. So
Right.
see you guys.
All right. You have a nice one.